Welcome to Queen Majesty's Stove. Today we're going to be making stewed fish. We're using red snapper and we're going to be frying them and stewing them down. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. It's a little time consuming because it's a process, but listen, this deliciousness is worth it. We have onions, peppers, hot pepper, carrots, shallots, scallion, thyme, pimento seeds, and our fish is well seasoned and it's in this juicy sauce. We have tomatoes in here. We have a little ketchup. I've added a little mushroom soy sauce to this to make it great. I know you're going to enjoy this. Like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so now we have our fish clean. We've made some cores on the side so our seasoning can penetrate. Cleaned up all the excess scales that we could see, cut off the little fins and whatnot, cleaned inside, and now we're ready to season. Now I use a JCS Port Royal fish fry seasoning. This is like the perfect blend for me. It has additional ingredients, but basically you need salt and pepper, and I just think it's convenient. It tastes great, and it's a perfect blend. So I just sprinkle it inside my fish. You want to get it all over. This is a very big fish, so you want to make sure you get the seed. You don't want to put too much because it could be salty. So this is enough for me. So on the outside, I'm trying to get it into where I've sliced and not really on the outside of the fish because there's black pepper in this seasoning. And if I put it on the outside, it will cause it to burn or, you know, get a little bit dark. So I want to just get it into these creases. So I would just want to use my finger to get it in there. And this is basically my seasoning for my fish. Get it in there, okay? And that's sufficient. Again, just sprinkle it in there. It's a nice balance of salt and pepper and other flavors in this. If you don't have access to this spice, just use some salt and pepper and you're good. Okay. Okay, so now we're finished, and I'm actually frying these tomorrow. So now they are ready to be fried. You can fry them right away. For me, I need them tomorrow, so I'm just going to put this in the refrigerator. Stay tuned. So now we have our pot ready with our oil. I've added some hot pepper because I like the flavor that it gives the oil. It's also one way of checking to make sure your oil is ready, or you could use a kebab stick and you just insert it, and once you see it bubbling like that, your oil is ready. We have very large fish, so we don't want them to fry quickly. We want them to fry properly, because if you have the flame too high, it's gonna burn before the inside cooks. Okay, so we have like a medium flame going, and this pot, it holds the heat, so we want to make sure we're careful with it. So now we're gonna add our fish, and this is hot, guys. So after like 5 minutes, it's a good time to test to see if your fish is ready to turn. You can give it a little tug and it should move freely. Okay, so now we're ready to turn it. I use a spatula and a fork to control it because it's a lot of oil. I don't want to get burned. So I kind of like, you know, use both of them to turn my fish. And we're going to be turning it a couple of times. Ooh. To make sure it's cooked properly. Okay, so we're just going to give this another 5 minutes, then we'll turn it again. So after another 5 minutes, I would like to flip them again, and they're moving freely. Always test, make sure they move freely. Okay. So we're going to give this another 5 minutes because we want to make sure that it's fried properly. Okay, so now after like another 5-6 minutes, I'm ready to take my fish out. They're nice and fried. Just want to put it on something, a paper towel. Okay. So this is what it should look like. Okay. And these are good for, we're going to be brown stewing these. But you could also, at this point, they can also be escabeche because they're fried well. So we can now add more fish and finish frying the fish. Okay, so we're ready to saute our veggies for our fish. And we have onions, sweet pepper, I like green and red. I have some red onions also, shallots, tomatoes, and thyme. Carrots, and we're going to be adding some pimento seeds to this, and there's hot pepper, scallions, if I didn't say that already. So we're going to start sauteing this. Also, we need to add our garlic. We're just going to saute this for like 5 minutes in oil. So 5 minutes has passed. At this point, I want to add my ketchup and my mushroom soy sauce. You could use regular soy sauce, keep in mind it's more salty, or you could use a little browning. Because the soy sauce, I'm adding my ketchup. This is a large pot. Then we want to add some mushroom soy sauce. This is going to give it color and flavor. And to this, I'm going to add some water before I add my fish. I've gone ahead and added water. I think I need a little bit more color to my gravy and a little bit more ketchup to help it to thicken. We're also going to be seasoning this up with a little bit of Maggi season up fish seasoning. And this you're going to season to taste. I may add some more of my pour oil mixture, which is the base of it is salt and pepper. But again, you have to season to taste. So I forgot to add ginger again. So I'm going to be using ground ginger instead. I like to put fresh ginger. It gives it a really great flavor. So now I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of the ground ginger to get the flavor in there. And let this cook a little bit before we add our fish. Now that our pot has come to a boil, we can go ahead and add our fish to the mixture. Make sure you taste it to make sure it's up to your liking. So you could add more pepper, more seasoning. Also keep in mind that the fish is seasoned, so you don't want to add too much seasoning to your pot before you add the fish, because then these are going to boil off into the water and then you'll have a salty mixture. Okay. Okay, so our fish is simmering. Got a piece of thyme stick. I have a lot of thyme in here, so every now and again I see the stick and I'll take it out. So this is what it's looking like. I have a really big pot here, and what I do periodically is to like get the gravy over the fish. I don't want to turn these fish too much or at all. That's why I make sure that there's enough gravy, because I don't want them to break. Even though they're fried, now that they're in the gravy, they're, you know, they'll soften a bit. They'll get a little juicy. So I don't want to be turning them. Okay, so we're going to cook this for like 15 minutes and then our fish should be ready. It smells so good. All the flavors, a little ginger, the garlic, all of that is coming out. And a lot of people, they don't like to add ketchup, but I add ketchup because the tomatoes, I just don't get this consistency when I use tomatoes only. So for me, I use ketchup. Okay, so this is our stew fish. Give it like 15 minutes and then we'll be all done. Here's our finished product, guys. Delicious, full of veggies and seasoning. Enjoying this. Ooh. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Queen Majesty Stove. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And this was my stewed fish.